You wonder, hopefully these people had a chance to prepare and get things ready for them.
I see sandbags right
there we go. I
there.
was just wondering, I didn't see any at first, but yeah.
Yep, sandbag right by the garage door as the wind is howling and you see those palm trees swaying side to side. Again, Marco Island, dramatic pictures. It's the first time I've seen that one coming into Spectrum News 13. So look, here's the deal. You're up with us at 1:20 in the morning. We are focusing on what's happening now across Central Florida, and the intensity of this hurricane is going to be ramped up right now. So if you're up with us, please try not to go to sleep because we don't want you to be caught off guard by any surprises.
Exactly. We want to be able to give you all the information as it happens so that you can prepare. Our motto here at News 13, be prepared and not scared.
The wind is howling, the rain keeps dropping, and so now we've been talking about the multiple inches of rain, but now we're really going to see it come down. It's going to come down so fast, it's going to impact the roads. There is a curfew in some parts of Central Florida, but in other parts, they're
not. I know, for example, Seminole County, no curfew in Seminole County.
Volusia has a curfew.
Volusia does have one. I know Seminole because that's where I am out there, and I was looking at those bags, Beth, and thankful now that I put bags at the back of my door there. We live a reservoir backed up to us, so I'm like, okay, I'm hoping that holds. So.
Well, you got those bags, and that's very, very smart. So right about the 2 o'clock hour, give or so a little bit, we should be seeing some 58 mile per hour sustained winds. To talk about that, let's go ahead and bring in certified meteorologist Maureen McCann. We have seen the rest of the team.
Yes.
Welcome back after possibly sleeping in your car for 2 hours, but now you're joining us into the coverage. So what can we expect for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, Maureen?
I did get 4 hours of sleep, I'd say, and I went to a hotel that still had power. I didn't have to travel too far, but I got here safely. You've been working for several hours already, though.
We have been watching the rain over the past several hours, Maureen, and also watching the wind potential. We're going to go through both of those hazards here, the flooding potential and the winds. Here's a look at Clystron 13 24-hour rainfall estimates, and of course the rain started early yesterday morning. At this time we had rain, and that rain has really piled up. 7 to 10 plus inches of rain. We're seeing the purples, the pinks, and down into portions of Polk County, nearly a foot of rain in spots. That rain continues to fall around Orlando, Osceola County, Brevard County, into Volusia County. We're seeing the pockets of yellow. That's the steadier rain. We have flash flood warnings up for Brevard County, Seminole County, Orange, and Osceola County. Those are scrolling at the bottom of the screen. So rare flash flood warnings.
There's Melbourne.
This
went away too quick.
You don't want to be out there on the roadways. We've had reports of traffic lights down at intersections, trees down, as we reported earlier. And then on top of that, you're throwing in the heavy rain that could lead to some flooded roadways.
Right about here we are at.
Right now, this is winds estimated by Clystron 13, 40 to 50 mile per hour winds there in Osceola County and Orange County. And to go through more of the wind impacts, because we're going to see some potentially damaging winds later on this morning, let's send it back over to Mo.
All right, thank you, Chris. And I was at the Jules. I'll come back over to the desk for Chris Glenn, who is in the control room, to let you know that I'm over here. We have that potential for still some hurricane-force winds, although that threat will be lessening. The core of the hurricane-force winds is going to be shrinking. We've been using this model guidance that also illustrates where winds could be up to 58 miles per hour. That's the orange, and the yellow, the tropical storm-force winds. That wind field expands as we see the storm start to weaken and that energy spread out. So through the next few hours, as Chris was mentioning, the most intense rain and potentially the most intense wind, but the focus shifts over to the coast. Brevard County, even Volusia County. I think the Flagler County areas, the wind speeds may not be as strong at this point when we see the model go through midday, but you get the idea. It's still going to be breezy, and we still have the potential for more power outages. That's been a concern all along, and our power outage index reflects how there is still that moderate potential through sunrise, especially along the I-4 corridor and shifting over towards the East Coast. So heading into the next few days, it's going to be a big improvement, and we've seen the storm move out faster than some of the models were anticipating initially, so that means an improvement in our forecast sooner and getting into quieter weather for what many of us will be doing over the weekend in terms of cleanup. We'll get back to rain-free conditions. We'll bring in showers by the end of next week. We will be seeing again in less than 10 minutes with more team coverage. Right now, Clystron 13.
Yeah, we'll check in with Klystron 13 in just a moment. Thanks, Mo. You know, we want to go ahead and continue our live team coverage right now at 124 with Jesse Canales, who's joining us from Osceola County.
Yeah, and Jesse, I know you can, if you can hear us, the neighborhood you're in was flooded during Hurricane Irma, and people there tell you they can be worried that it could happen again.
That's right, Curtis. If you can see right now, I'm under slight cover to protect me from the rain, and I'll show you what kind of rain we're contending with right now here in Buenaventura Lake. You can see the water just pouring down in this area, and it's really been picking up ever since that flash flood warning was announced. And we have some videos to show you what residents have been looking at, and that's the retention pond. If you can see in that video, the water has kind of gone past some of that limit of that fence, and it's been going way past what's expected, and that's a huge concern for residents I spoke with. And if you look more into that video, you can see the driveway and roads in that area flooded, and that's what residents were worried about, and that's what happened during Hurricane Irma. But that water is nowhere near where it was during that storm, because during that storm, several residents had to be rescued through water boat rescues. They're hoping that doesn't happen again, and a big part of that is because the county invested around $3.6 million for storm water infrastructure to better help the area against strong storms like Hurricane Ian. But we'll continue to monitor as the rain keeps pouring down, and keep watching those retention ponds to make sure that they don't go any higher. We're now reporting live in Osceola. Jessica Canales, Spectrum News.